This is my fork of the open source LiveKit Agents repository. And once a week, I merge all of the changes from upstream and I have Yalla connected to my fork so we can kind of see all of the changes that are coming. Are they system-wide? Are they small? Are they stability improvements? Just getting like an overview of what is changing upstream. So the changes from the last week, it says high risk to merge. This is just because it's a week's worth of changes into my own fork. I don't imagine that there are any high risk changes on the actual open source project, so nothing to worry about there. Architecture elements. So we added a TrueGen plugin. That's cool, integration with TrueGen AI avatars. And then a few things that were pre-existing that got touched. Again, it looks like the TrueGen might be the big feature upgrade from the last week of changes, which is pretty cool. Text to speech, just a few improvements there. No rule violations, but once again, I don't have any rules configured for this one in Yalla. And then worker draining state, so state management change improves deployment readability and prevents job drops during scaling events. So it seems like a good decision. And input modality tracking, API contract change. So that's helpful for upstream and downstream potential consumers. And then removal of the LiveKit plugins browser. That's another important one to know. Okay, and then I'm gonna hop over here. So again, I'll link these docs for all the open source repositories. The documentation page is also open, so we leave that open for everyone to reference. But I'm gonna come over here to the PR reviews. So we have just been doing this weekly sync from upstream into my personal fork for a few weeks, but as I keep going on this, we'll be able to see how the system has changed over time. So we'll see the changes in architecture, tech stack, data flows, architecture decisions, all of those things that are getting made over time will kind of pile up here and we'll just be able to review them from week to week. So this week we can see it reported the breaking changes for the removal of the browser. There is some health impact. It's like positive things. So the health impact is really just checking for maintainability, just making sure, is it using reusable modules? Are architecture patterns being followed? All of that. And then reports the same decisions that we saw earlier. So that is an overview of the LiveKit Agents framework. And yeah, it'll be cool to kind of see these as they pile up over time.